today.
Hey folks, how you doing? This is Coach Roger coming to you live, and I appreciate all of you. You get a ring of the victory bell for being here and being amazing. And you know who else is amazing? My next guest. Her name is Nilufer Erdebil. We're going to call her Nil because she likes it. She is an award-winning design thinking expert, TEDx and Tech This Stage speaker, and the author of Future-Proofing by Design, creating better services and teams in the public sector. With over 25 years of experience, she has been a catalyst for change across both public and private sectors. As CEO of Spring to Innovation, Nil has led transformative initiatives, helping teams embrace innovation and drive strategic growth. Her deep expertise spans telecommunications, application development, program management, and IT, giving her unique insights into complex business challenges. Now, Nil continues to inspire organizations to embrace innovation and create impactful solutions. Woo! That's a mouthful. So I cannot wait to meet this amazing new guest. Let's welcome the one, the only, super talented, super smart, super beautiful, super talented. Yes, I said talented twice. The one who walked to school uphill both ways in the snow, barefoot, Nil Erdebil. Hello, Nil. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Raja. Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course. And listen, like what an impressive background. And for those of you that don't want to be part of the background, make sure you click that link down below so you can comment during the live. So, without any further delay, so Nil, we met not too long ago, and so like I was really curious about finding more about this stuff. So, how'd you come up with deeper clarity? And can you share like a little story about what's the story behind Spring to Innovation?
Sure, yeah. So Deeper Clarity started out a couple years ago as we looked at how we were working with our clients. Spring to Innovation's been around we're just actually about to celebrate our 13th year anniversary. And yeah, we've been working with all sorts of different sizes of organizations, and we took time to reflect about 2 years ago to better understand how we were engaging with our customers and what they really valued, what worked in large organizations from a human-centered perspective. And so we came up with the Deeper Clarity method and program to make sure that organizations are bringing in more of a human-centered perspective into their organization so that they can better align. And so that means everyone understanding and rowing in the same direction. And in terms of, thanks. And in terms of the story behind Spring to Innovation, I was working actually in an innovation lab with one of the big telecommunications companies here in Canada. And we actually had 12 labs across the country. And at the time, I was program managing there, and one of our partners said, hey, why don't we bring in a customer to take a look at some of the solutions that we're prototyping? And at the time, I was thinking to myself, why would we do that? And he convinced me to actually bring in the customer. And when we brought in the customer, the information that we got was super invaluable in terms of what they needed, what they're willing to pay for, what they don't care about. And so we were able to change our offering based on that insight, and automatically had a lot of customers right out of the gate. And I thought, why aren't more businesses doing this? And so that's how we started Spring to Innovation, is helping organizations understand their customers at a deeper level.
I love it. And so now, how do you measure the success of implementing Deeper Clarity? And then why is that alignment such an important step in the Deeper Clarity method?
Yeah, success is different for every organization and every project. The most important part is to actually take the time at the beginning of engaging with our clients to understand what success looks like for them. And most of the time it is around aligning the organization. Sometimes it involves making sure that the feedback loops are in place so that when customers or clients are having challenges or they're finding something amazing in your services, that that information gets back to the rest of the organization, including operations, R&D. Usually it does make its way back into marketing, but sometimes that's also a challenge, going from the customer service folks into marketing, from sales into marketing. And alignment is such an important part of any organization. Oftentimes, when large projects go wrong, it's probably
Hmm.
because the organization wasn't aligned. There's so many silos, and organizations are made out of people that want to do a great job, and they're super focused on what they need to do. But what's top of mind and what's high priority for one department is different for another department. And so that alignment is required to bring it all together. Because when you look at organizations, they have procurement and they also have sales and marketing, and they care about very different things. And same with
Yes, they
R&D.
do.
Yeah, R&D cares about something completely different.
I've worked in pharma for 26 years, and believe me, what R&D cares about is not what procurement cares about. And
Yes,
and sometimes you have no idea what the senior directors are caring about, because
yeah,
they have a different agenda. Everybody has something different that they're focusing on. And until you get that alignment, like you were saying, until we get all the players kind of rowing in the same direction, we're going to be slowing down or going in circles trying to figure out. I saw that siloed effect when I was in R&D, where I saw
yeah.
multiple different managers having similar projects with overlapping
Oh,
results, and just thinking and I kept complaining, saying, why are we wasting time, energy, and resources doing the same things when we should be communicating and sharing
absolutely.
so we can
Yeah,
move past it? But, you
absolutely.
know, at the
And
time, people didn't listen, but, so be it. That's what they do.
and the reason we're in business is to create an impact on our customers so that they keep using our services and our products, and we can
Hmm.
solve bigger challenges for them. And the best way to be able to do that is, first of all, understand the customers better at a deeper level, and then align around that customer and make sure that all the departments are able to talk to one another and have the same measures of success based on the strategy of the organization.
Oh, beautiful. And so, like, I know, like, in my own Spit Pick with Confidence, a workshop series, I teach about executive communication and about speaker authority, how to speak with intent and how to get that buy-in with the audience. But you have different strategies or possibly similar. Like, what kind of strategies have you found that are effective in encouraging open communications and diverse ideas within organizations?
Yeah, there's so many aspects to that. I think,
Uh-huh.
first of all is, bringing people together and creating psychological safe zones is really a huge part of that, and then
Hmm.
making sure that everyone is able to see each other's perspective, and
Yeah.
so sometimes that means taking a step back and better understanding what each group is doing. What are
Hmm.
their goals? What are their challenges? And how do they see the world? So that they can better understand why that other part of the organization is coming to the solutions or the conclusions that they're coming from. And then the other
Gotcha.
aspect of it is
Hmm.
focus on that end customer.
Yeah.
And when everybody in the organization understands that customer, as well as maybe the sales or the executives team, then they're able to make decisions on their own that's in the best interest of both the company and the customer, rather than,
Ooh, that's a beautiful notion, right?
yeah, thank you, yeah. And so it's just making sure that, everyone's on the same page in terms of where each other's coming from, and looking at things from the customer perspective rather than, "Oh, that's marketing talking, or that's sales talking, or that's R&D talking." We're all talking about the customer and focusing around them.
Yeah, there's something I talk about called the WIFM, the, like, what's in it for me.
Yeah,
And if you don't think about what's in it for your customer, um, you're going to miss out those important conversations about what it is that they exactly want. Because if you haven't done that, um, you're actually trying to sell to somebody who may not want what it is that you have. Now, Nilo's got a gift that's going to help you to align some of your processes. So, like, Nilo, can you tell us what what is that? A gift link. What is the benefit of them having to click on that link down below?
Yeah, so when they click on it, they'll be able to walk through some of the activities that we do with our clients. And the number one thing that I think most people are going to appreciate is basically identifying their top 5 customers
Yeah.
based on their behavior. And so it doesn't have to be a particular client per se, but what are the different
Hmm.
types of customers that you have and how do they behave? How do they interact with your product or your services? And then identify what their biggest challenge is. And it sounds really easy, but I find this is really difficult in a lot of organizations to even list the top 5 customers that you have, and
Yeah.
even more so to identify what that customer's biggest challenge is.
Hmm. I know. And what's interesting is when you ask people, whether it's entrepreneurs or big business, you know, who is your best buyer? Who's the person
Oh,
that
yeah.
wants to continue to repeat to you and come back to you? It's like, oh, we know it's a demographic. It's like age 25 to 45. It's for plasma TVs, it's men. For handbags and coach purses, it's women. But you know, when you start to ask them, not the demographics, but like what are the psychographics of those people?
Yeah.
What is it that they love? What is it that they watch? What are the challenges that they go through? They just look at you kind of like a deer in headlights, saying, um, like to have a couple screws loose, but no screwdriver. We have to figure out, how to connect to those. So I love that. Thank you for that. You're gonna ring the victory bell. Now, anybody that's watching on the live right now, you thrive. And if you're watching on the replay, you get to play again. Give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts, and please share with us because we love to know that we are creating impact for you. So once again, take a look at Nil's gift down below. And we're gonna shift gears right now into what I call the softer side of Sears and get to know Nil as a person. Because people don't join a business, they join a person, don't they? So Nil, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where did you grow up? How did you grow up?
Yeah, I have a little bit more of a diverse background than most folks. I was
Yeah.
actually born in Istanbul in Turkey,
Oh,
and
wow, that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah, and a lot of people don't realize Istanbul's actually on 2 different continents. So even though I was in the same city, I managed to live on 2 different continents. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and as
Didn't
I grew
Istanbul
up,
one time get renamed as Constantinople, or it was the previous, or vice versa?
yeah, it was Constantinople before, and now it's Istanbul. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's quite a large city. I think it's like 17 million people, and then
Hmm.
from there, in mid-February, moving to Edmonton, Alberta. So for those
Hmm.
that don't know, Edmonton, it's rather cold in the wintertime, and the winter's rather long, and so it's just such a shift in perspective, and moving away from friends and family was a little bit
Ooh.
difficult, but
Yeah.
yeah, it
Cold.
enabled me to embrace winter sports.
Oh, I can only imagine. Oh, so
Yeah.
then what was your favorite sport then? Being in Canada, was it hockey or was it something else?
Well, I was in Edmonton when the Edmonton Oilers were huge, so you had
Yep.
to be a hockey fan. That's all everybody talked about.
Yep.
But I was fortunate enough to start figure skating when I was about 10 years old. And so I personally loved figure skating,
Hmm.
talking about hockey. And it was in Edmonton that I also learned how to both cross country ski and downhill ski. And now I love downhill skiing.
No way. That's pretty cool. Now, I don't know much about skiing. I've gone skiing exactly once, and I learned on the Bunny Hill slopes up in the Poconos, and it was a lot of fun. And I keep telling my friends, let's go back again, let's go back again. And we never got around to it. And that was about 15 years ago. So at some point, we'll go back to trying to
Yeah.
ski again. My love has always been karate.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and that I've been doing that for 40 years now. I'm a grandmaster in the Black Belt Hall of Fame, but it doesn't matter. It's like I'll be doing it. I'll be doing it till I'm dead, and I'll come back as a zombie and keep on going.
Oh my
Um,
God. That's the dream, isn't it though? Yeah.
well, listen, when you find something you love, you just want to keep on doing it. It's
Yeah,
fantastic. You want to keep on learning more about it. Um,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah,
and
you. Mhm.
I actually just started 2 years ago getting back into competitive adult figure skating because it's
Cool.
something that I love, that I'm passionate about, like you are, and it's something to look forward to, and I hope to continue to do it for as long as I can.
Yeah,
But it just brings so much light into my life.
it does. I always tell my son and my daughter, listen, there's three things in your life that you got to have, something for a mind, body, and soul. So for
Yeah.
me, when I say the triangle life, I do cancer research for the mind, karate for the body, and music for the soul.
Oh, I
And I
love it.
tell them the same thing is that what do you do? What lights you up? What fills your cup? And you know, everybody out there, they say, "Oh, well, I got a high-powered job. I'm a lawyer, and I'm rich, and I got this, luxury condo, and that's great. How's your family? Oh, I don't have one. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You have a passion? Like, what do you love to do? I love to go to yoga class. Really? Do you love to go to yoga class, or do you just do it just to get in shape? Like, what do you love? What fills you up? Like, it should be the thing that you want to go to, not what you have to go to. And
Yeah,
if you
absolutely.
find those things, I'm telling you, life is so much easier. Life is so much more fun.
Yeah.
What about? Uh, has there been any book or any movie that has shaped the way you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. I thought about this for a long time, so I have a movie and a book, and, I find
Nice.
I talk a lot about mindset as well,
Yep.
especially, for businesses and for growth as well as, leadership, and one of
Hmm.
my favorite movies is Joe versus the Volcano, and,
Oh my God, I remember that a long time ago.
yeah, it's an
Yeah.
old movie, I consider it a classic. I don't know if,
Meg
many
Ryan, I think. Yeah, Meg Ryan, and was it Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan?
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Yep.
Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, yeah. I just even the opening scene of the movie, is this I don't know if you remember the opening scene for it.
No, just
There's
vaguely.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people walking into a factory,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of, concrete, and then there's this I think it was a daisy that's, like, sprung up from between the cracks, and,
Oh,
people keep stomping on it, keeps coming back up, people stomp on it, keeps coming back up, and, it just showcases, I think,
yep.
the resiliency of life and the beautiful things in our life, and throughout the movie too, um, Tom Hanks's character uh, is misdiagnosed, but we don't realize it until
Oh,
later,
yeah.
with a fatal health issue. And so
Right.
he's like, this is not what I want my life to be. And he completely
Hmm.
changes his life, uh,
Got it. Hmm.
thinking he's going to die in a month. And
I know. That's great. That's great. Yeah.
yeah, I
What?
love it because it feels like most
Mm-hmm.
of us don't do what we really want to do. Like you were talking about the passion
Yeah.
component of it,
Yeah.
and caring too much about, what some of the other
Not
people in our life think.
about the wrong things in life. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
what about favorite book? You said you also had a favorite book that
Yeah.
you love too.
Yeah, I, love, Untethered Soul, and that's by, Michael Singer, and, he talks about how we're basically living on this tiny rock that's just, such a small component of what makes
Hmm.
up the universe, and
Right.
so
Hmm.
his perspective is like not to take ourselves too seriously, is that at the end of the day you want to make sure that you're doing things that are filling your cup. So I think there's a lot of themes there around
It is.
mindset,
I
how
love
you
it.
look at things, how you look at life and your
Right.
family and the world around you.
Yeah. Now, what's now we already knew about your like ice skating and like downhill skiing, and what's another fun fact about you that maybe people don't know?
Yeah, so I tell people I'm a human-centered, designer or a design thinker, always looking at things from a people perspective, but, a lot of people don't know that, I have an undergraduate degree in electrical engineering, and, I
No
did software
way.
development and design, yeah. So I
It,
come at things from, like, a very organized process method type of a perspective.
now that's pretty cool. Now, what's fun is like when I was growing up, we had this club after school in high school called the Science Olympiad, and so I got into. There were like something like 60 or 70 different competitions you could go into in that. I got into orienteering and I got into bridge building, and so when I would design my uh, bridges, the winning bridge you would have to have the maximum weight held for the
Ah,
least amount of weight of the bridge itself.
oh, I
So it's
love
really
it.
a thought process in designing something for maximum efficiency with the least amount of product in it. And I remember seeing the first year I attempted that, I seeing all these other people designing these super big, strong balsa wood or made out of spruce and cedar, and all these kind of bridges had to be made out of wood. Um, and I just thought, what are they doing? They're doing it wrong. So I went back and I started to use the lightest balsa wood I could and think about the efficiency of design.
Yeah.
And I won first place in state. And my
Ah,
bridge held over 3,800 times its own weight.
oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
And so from a young age, everybody thought that I was going to become an engineer.
Ah,
And so
yeah.
like whenever I hear about I always get along with engineers because I understand that thought process. It's just a lot of fun thinking about the best way, the best processes, and that's why I'm like right now. Even I'm taking a project management a certification course at
Oh,
Cornell University, and to do the same thing to learn about process engineering, how to improve and speed up our
yeah.
efficiencies and all the processes that biotech and pharma go through. Um,
Yeah.
what about favorite favorite kind of music? What do you love?
Oh, my musical tastes are all over the place. I
So
think,
say eclectic.
yeah, yeah, and I think, part of that, I think part of that is, growing up skating. I listen to a lot of classical music on the ice. Right now, my favorite song is probably by Dua Lipa called, "Training Season." And,
Hmm.
I think, it's partly because, right before our competition, in May, our skating coach actually, mailed a song to all of us, just kinda letting us know it's too late to be,
Yep.
skating right to be training right now. You've done all this
Yep.
training, you prepared yourself for it, so now it's just focusing on the delivery component of it, and,
Yep.
it just reminds me that, when you do enough training,
Uh-huh.
it's okay. You're very prepared, so just have confidence in that preparation. Have confidence in the process. You spent a lot of time taking a look at things and studying it and training your body and your mind, and so now it's time to deliver. And I think that kind of goes to all the different parts of my life too, just to remind myself that all right, you've put in all the work.
Hmm.
And so now it's time to deliver, and I think that's what I talk a lot about with, organizations too, is let's, take a lot of time to think about what's the problem that you're trying to solve. Let's understand the people in there, and then once you do, everything else is a lot easier.
Gotcha. I love it. Thank you so much for all of that. Now, what about last question here before we shift gears a little bit again? What is your favorite food? I always find this fascinating.
Yeah. I think, 2 things came up to mind when you asked that,
Yeah.
and, first, because of my Turkish background,
Yep.
there's a dish called Iskender kebab, which I love. It's basically, pita bread, with, uh, doner or shawarma meat, like it's thinly sliced meat with, yogurt on top and,
Yeah.
a tomato sauce drizzled with, hot butter. It's
Oh
heavenly.
my God. I don't even know
Um
where to get that, but that sounds awesome. I want to try that now.
Yeah, it is so good, yeah, it is so good, I love it, and, the second one, I keep remembering, and then I have to remind myself to forget it. I love scallops, but unfortunately, I'm allergic to them now. I
Oh,
wasn't growing up, but, over the last, 15, 20 years, I've,
yeah.
become allergic to them, and, every time I see it on the menu, I wanna order it. I really wanna order it, but,
I wonder if, because I know my son used to be highly allergic to tree nuts, but now it's not as bad. There, he can kind of eat those foods that are kind of processed on machines that process tree nuts, but maybe he kind of outgrew it. But I would think, especially with seafood, I think the oceans and the currents, how they're growing these things, there might
oh,
be contaminations within it. It may not be the food itself; it might be the contaminants that are increasing
oh.
over time.
Yeah,
So
that's a great point.
yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe just see if there's any place where you can get actual ocean caught scallops versus farm raised, because the farm
Oh,
raised ones they have 100 times the level of mercury and salt in them. So maybe
yeah.
that could be something that could contribute to that. So Maybe
Good
that
idea.
might be something we can all find out. There you go. Public service announcement. If when in doubt, try to get, Atlantic or Pacific or ocean caught seafood versus the farm raised, because it makes
Oh,
a difference in the
I love
quality.
it. I
Yeah.
love it.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to call up, hello, Whole Foods. Yeah, we need some Iskandar kebabs and some scallops in the green room. Yeah, we need a whole pallet of it. Thanks. So that's my totally real call to the green room. And so before we shift gears, I just want to ask you like one last question. And first of all, thank you again for being here and being amazing and sharing your impact with the world. What is it? What's the one thing that you want people to recall about you?
To recall about me,
Hmm.
we didn't talk too much about it, and it's part of deeper clarity, and I think it's
Okay.
also part of having lived in different cultures and different environments is taking the time to be curious and have empathy for the people around you. So curious about the people around you,
Hmm.
and curious about the processes, curious about even family members around you. And
Yeah.
so I would love people to remember me as helping implement empathy into organizations. How do you
Yeah.
help people in
Hmm.
organizations be curious to understand each other, to understand their customers?
Yep.
So that there's better alignment within the organization. And so I think empathy and curiosity are two things that I'd love for people to remember me as
Oh, that's
by.
beautiful. Thank you so much. You got to ring the victory bell. And everybody else that's watching on the live, if you're on the replay, you get to play again. We're going to send Nilu to the green room. Thank you so much. And we'll bring you right back. And in today's sponsor segment, we have a couple great sponsors coming out here. Number one is Podapalooza coming up next week. Make sure you grab that link down below and join us on Podapalooza. You get podcasters and guests all together on the same day with amazing speakers. Make sure you don't miss it. It's really for a low cost. You really get a lot of excitement all day. Also up is our Speaker Confidence Mastermind is on Tuesday nights for a one-time donation, which goes to the National Stuttering Association. You get lifetime access to that group. We talk about entrepreneurship, speaker skills. We do evaluations. We help you find the latest and greatest skills, tips, tricks, hacks using AI to help build your business. So make sure you don't miss that. And one tool that I used is Talkadot. It is amazing. There's that link below. In 1 hour, I got 105 testimonials after my keynote that I just gave at the Pfizer World Headquarters DEI Summit. So make sure you don't miss that. All right, folks. So now, in terms of branding, make sure that you also get your own speaker reel, because if you don't do that, people will not hire you. You need something that shows off your skills, and here's an example of what we can do for you.
When you throw a rock into a lake, what happens? No, there's a splash. You make an impact, and then you get waves. And then you don't know where those waves are going. Those waves are going past around the reeds, and you don't know where that impact is. So all of you out there, when you're on stage, you don't know where your impact is going to end. It's never going to end.
All right, folks. So listen, I have a question for you. So Nilo was talking about that deeper clarity mindset. Now, you all know my business, Victory Mindset Academy. I talk about Black Belt Mind Shift. What is one of the simple things I always talk about is that in the martial arts, only two belts truly matter. White belt because you started, and black belt because you reached your goal. You reached your finish line. Think about it that way, like you're doing a marathon or a race. You're trying to get to the finish line, the end goal, the end game. And a lot of us, even though we get started on our journey, whether you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, whether you work for a large company or a small one, uh, have you actually set a goal line? Because if you don't have that understanding of self, what is it that I really want? What's in it for me? You got to put on your own oxygen mask. A lot of people think, well, I'm going to help others, help others, help others. Yeah, but they forget to feed their own cup. They forget to fill their own cup. And by doing so, it restricts your ability to impact others. It is not selfish to think of yourself in a way that helps fulfill you. In fact, it's actually very helpful. I mean, I joke around, look, I voted. I still have my little voting sticker, and like I'm not here to choose sides or tell anybody who to vote for. I'm here to give you the fact that you have the opportunity to choose. So now that you have the opportunity to choose, not just in politics, but also what kind of a life do you want to live? Think about a video game. In a video game, I remember growing up in the 80s, and for 1 quarter you put in the arcade machine, you would get 3 lives, and you would keep on going. If you died once, you would get to restart again, and you restart the second time, and third time you say, uh-oh, I'm on my last life. Did you realize your life right now is a 1-life game? That's it. Are you putting your best foot forward? So let's think deeper. What is it that we truly want? Because when our intentions and our actions align, that's when we get the positive velocity so that everybody around us can win and we can win. So let's see if Nilu is back and if she enjoyed all the food. So Nilu, welcome back. How was all the food? And did you save me any? Nope. Oh, that's okay. No worries. All right. So Nilu, Nil, tell me, what'd you think about that 60-second mind shift, and what would you add to it?
I love that around intention and action aligning. And I like how you talked about how do we think about what we actually want to do, where we want to go. And I totally agree with that. I think the other thing I would add with intention and action is the value component of it, is what you're doing, aligning with your values. Is the organization you're working with aligning with values? And I think when I look at the work that we do with Deeper Clarity, it's a lot about starting out with understanding what's that challenge you're trying to solve. Like, what is success going to look like? What are you thriving towards? What are you striving towards? What are you trying to get to? Before even thinking about what people should be doing, or even understanding your customers as an organization, making sure that your intentions and actions are going to line up, as well as your values and the values of your customers.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. It's been an amazing experience having you here with us. One last question. If someone gave you a blank check, what is your grand vision to change the world?
I talked about empathy earlier, bringing more empathy into the world.
Yeah,
that would reduce a lot or deflate the conflict that's going on. And the other thing that I think I would love to do if I had a blank check is educate more people on technology and digital, so that everyone has the same level of understanding in terms of what technology can do for us and our lives, as well as how we need to think about technology and legacy technology in order to be more successful in life and in businesses. I think when there's more empathy and people are using technology, we can move even faster. And then add in that alignment. Oh my God, worlds are oyster.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much, Nilu, for being here. And thank you, everyone else, for being here on the show. Don't forget that on December 21st, we're going to have our 400th interview live. That is my team. We make it. Today, Nil is number 384. And thanks for being here and being amazing. This is Coach Raja. And as always, don't fake it to make it. Believe it and become it. And we'll see everybody on the next show. Take care. Bye.
Thanks.
All right, Nil. So 30 seconds left. 3 quick questions for you. Yep. Why do you want to come on the show today?
I think partly to be able to reach a new audience. I believe in what you're doing. I love the themes and topics that you talk about, and I think it aligns really well with my values around mindset and the mindset of people around us.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And what is your biggest takeaway from the show or the training or anything from today?
I think from the show today itself is that intentionality component of it that you touched on. I know you and I have had a chance to talk a lot about how sports have impacted our lives and how we need passion and things that feed our soul as well too. And I think we're on the same page with that as well too. But it's always good to keep reinforcing it.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Thank you. And then last question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you recommend me to somebody else's stage?
Oh my gosh, probably a 10 because you're super engaging. I love talking with you, and I always reflect as we're talking or after we talk about my life and also on my own personal philosophy to life. So yeah, definitely recommend it.
All right. Thank you so much, Nil. It's been an amazing experience. I'm going to have the podcast team take over from here. See you later. And we are officially off the